This year, we get to be someone else, live a different life, become someone new.
Why are they still here?
Jesus was born for the herdmans as much as he was for us. We'll be missing the whole point now if we turn them away.
Good evening and welcome to Good News on Entertainment. I'm Carly Boyette. Tonight's going to be a really fun show as we are getting a jump start in celebrating the holidays. There are a lot of exciting shows, movies, and concerts that are coming out to help you get in the holiday spirit. The first one we are looking at tonight is the best Christmas pageant ever. I am so excited about this one. Dallas Jenkins, the creator and director behind the hit series The Chosen, has been very open about how this story, which was first a book, has been on his heart along with his wife, Amanda, for a very long time. They really had to be patient and get the rights to make this movie. Well, their patience and hard work has paid off. The film comes out nationwide November 8th.
Okay, everyone. For as long as I can remember, our little town has loved Christmas. And nothing is more important than our annual Christmas pageant.
The pageant is sacred.
Special mention to Grace for volunteering to direct the pageant.
But this year, the Herdmans changed everything.
Now. The Herdmans are absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world. Hey!
Give it up, Charlie!
You ready for this? I'm gonna be in your Bible play. This is gonna be a real disaster.
That's the spirit. Would anyone like to volunteer for Mary and Joseph?
Who's Mary? Baby Jesus' mom?
Elmer, you usually like playing Joseph. Suppose that's that then.
The Herdmans shouldn't be here.
They're a poor influence.
It might be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight, and Mary hightails it with the baby.
$5 say they burned down the manger.
This year, we get to be someone else, live a different life, become someone new.
Why are they still here?
Jesus was born for the herdmans as much as he was for us. We'll be missing the whole point now if we turn them away.
I'm not quite sure what's gonna happen. Maybe that's not a bad thing. Because Mary and Joseph weren't so sure either.
She's crying. Mary's crying.
It's going to be the best Christmas pageant ever.
Today we're going to ignore everything except blood.
Oh, what? No, come on!
Now that's a pageant I'd actually like to see.
Well, gentlemen, Dallas, I guess let's start with you because I know this has been your baby, and here we are. We're super close now to the release of this. So tell me about how you're feeling. I know I saw you at Chosen Con, and I know you got to see it with fans there, and I could just tell how happy you were that it's finally on screen.
Well, I mean, this movie for me is 20 years in the making, and I'm showing you the copy of the book. This is the actual one. In fact, you'll appreciate this. I've got notes, filmmaking notes that I wrote 15 to 20 years ago for if I got the chance to do this as a movie, this is what I wanted to do. My wife brought it home, and I read it to my kids. And when I say read, that was just a part of it. I was laughing, I was emotional, I was appreciating the nostalgia of it. I get to the last chapter. I can't read because I'm crying so hard. My wife takes the book, she's like, all right, let me finish. She's reading, she starts crying. We just give it back and forth to each other as we're trying to get through it. And in that moment, I said, I have to make this movie. This is the movie I was born to make, and I've been chasing it for so long. And so to talk to you about it, for Andy and Kevin and the Kingdom Story team to help bring this to life is truly a gift and a dream come true for me, and I don't say that lightly. And so, yeah, it's a little surreal to go, I'm talking about best Christmas pageant ever, the movie I made, and it's coming, and people are going to now officially watch it. It's something else.
Andy, did you fall in love with this as well as much as they did? Because it is a very easy story to fall in love with.
You know, it's such a Christmas classic, and it's a throwback. You know, and I love films in kind of the sense of the Frank Capra, It's a Wonderful Life, kind of that wide-eyed, nostalgic look at Christmas. But I think the first people we saw that through was through Dallas and his family, with Dallas and Amanda sitting down and saying what the story had meant to them, reading the book to their kids every year. And for us, he just said, I know exactly, I've directed this film in my head 100 times. And he walked us, you know, frame by frame what he was gonna do before we cast or shot anything. And so we had already kind of experienced the movie, and we just believed that he would be able to pull it off. And when he found these kids and this cast, and it starts kind of coming to life, it was a surreal experience. I can't wait for audiences to experience it in the theater.
Me too. And Dallas, I first noticed when I was watching it, it's so different. I think from a directing perspective, it's fast paced. There's a little bit of slapstick comedy. It's so different than what you're, been working on for several years now with The Chosen. That must have been fun. Still seeing some of our favorite cast members from The Chosen too, though. Yeah. But just getting a lighthearted kind of break from the heaviness, still the importance. Yeah. But the heaviness maybe lifted a little bit.
Yeah, stylistically, it's very, very different from The Chosen, and audiences will pick up on that quickly. And so that exercised a new muscle for me. But I will say this, there is a very strong correlation between The Chosen and Best Christmas Pageant Ever, not just in the fact that 3 of the actors are in it, and they do a great job, but telling the greatest story ever told through a different perspective. Not changing the story, but revealing the truth of it more than what we've maybe taken for granted in the past, I think is, well, not I think, I know, is the very strong connection between both The Chosen and Best Christmas Pageant Ever. So you'll see a stylistic difference, but you're gonna come away with the same thing, which is, I'm seeing this story in many ways for the first time, maybe in a way I haven't considered, but I appreciate it even more now, and that's what we've been hearing over and over.
And it's interesting, I'm curious, because you could have, if someone wanted to redo this, or make this into a movie, you could have really very easily made it more modern, right? Like you could have brought it into, which there's a tiny bit of that, but I love that you didn't. I love that I think that's why it feels so nostalgic as a Christmas movie as well. I'm assuming that was done very much on purpose.
Oh, of course, we talked about this a lot, and this is what when Andy mentions that I kind of walked them through it, I said, you're not gonna know what decade you're in. And there's some classic movies that feel like that. Like when you watch the movie Babe, for example, I use that as an example, or the Paddington movies, where you're like, this could be, like it feels timeless, it feels old-fashioned, but also feels new at the same time. It's very difficult to do, but the book does it. And I said, for this movie to work, the viewer has to feel like it could have been about them, and that they recognize their childhood, whether they're a child now or whether they're an adult. And we were just obsessed with it from day one. All the departments understood it, the cast and crew understood it, and so when everyone's making the same movie and they're following the same vision, and that we stand on Barbara Robinson's shoulders, the author of the book, it can really be beautiful, and I think that's what people are responding to.
Yeah, I think it's just like, I love like old Norman Rockwell kind of, nostalgic paintings, and you look at it and it's the idealized version of what childhood sees a moment. And those moments don't have a date attached to it. It's a memory, it's a feeling. And I think that was kind of the vision that Dallas pitched up front that sold us. And he's like, we're gonna enter into that kind of hyper-stylized but kind of nostalgic world, and we're like, we're in. And I think you see it from everything from the poster to the final print of the film. It shows up on the screen.
Well, people need to bring their tissues both to laugh and to cry, and all ages too, because I think there's lessons for both the kids that watch and the adults that watch as well. So gentlemen, job well done. I can't wait for people to see this, and happy early Christmas. I'm so excited we have another classic to add to our list every year.
Oh, that means a lot. Thanks so much.
Merry Christmas.
The Herdmans are absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world. Hey!
Give it up, Charlie!
You ready for this? I'm gonna be in your Bible play. This is gonna be a real disaster.
That's the spirit. Would anyone like to volunteer for Mary and Joseph?
Who's Mary? Baby Jesus' mom?
Elmer, you usually like playing Joseph. Suppose that's that then.
Pete, don't ruin this for me, but I feel like this must have been like the most fun film to make. It's fun to watch. I can only imagine how much fun it was to be a part of it.
Honestly, it truly was. It was like Christmas cosplay. Everything was so Christmassy. The kids were incredible. I'm a huge Judy Greer fan, and she is just as delightful. I would love to dish and tell you that she's awful. She's not. She's absolutely delightful. And Dallas is, a lot of people ask us what it was like working with kids, but really it was Judy and I that clowned around the most, and he was so patient and cool with us. So he was a delight to work with as well.
Well, and I want to hear how it was working with Dallas. I've covered a lot of The Chosen over the years, and he's got a very good reputation.
Yeah.
Certainly with the cast, you got to meet some of them, of course, on the set as well.
Yeah.
And this is his passion project. I mean, he's just so emotional about this. And how was kind of being a part of just that world?
Dallas is just a very warm, centered person, and he also loves comedy. So that is what we bonded over first and foremost, was just laughing. And we also just share a similar philosophy, which is if you're making jokes, you really can't be that stressed out. So it's not just to get a laugh, it's to kind of signal to everybody, hey, we're having fun. This isn't the end of the world, we're just telling a story. So like, and the irony is, if you don't take it too seriously, it'll actually come out better. So let's not stress, let's go with the flow. And he set a really good example in that way.
Yeah. This is, I think it's funny, you see the trailer and you kind of assume where it's going. It's a message about the kids and making sure that you're not judging others. And then when I watched it, I think it kind of surprised me. I just didn't realize how much of the lesson was for adults.
Yeah.
And parents as well. Maybe speak on that a little bit, because again, it's so easy on the surface level to think, oh, we're just trying, this story tells a great lesson for kids.
Yeah.
To be kind to each other. But man, is it for adults as well.
I completely agree. And I actually think the risk is greater for adults. I think just from a brain science perspective, you get more, those grooves get deeper as you get older. You're quicker to judge, you're quicker to label everything and keep everything at a distance from yourself. And you kind of get addicted to your own way of thinking. And then that can lead to some real kind of us and them, these people are in, these people are out, more than children. So I think the message of this movie certainly is for kids, but I think it would be more applicable to me as a grown-up and to grown-ups in general. I mean, how many times do you need to hear, like, keep your heart open, don't be so quick to judge, and don't sort of resist the temptation to seek the comfort of being an in-group and by definition, therefore, having an out-group. So I think that's even more for grown-ups than it is for kids.
How is it? Because you're a dad too, right?
I am, yeah. And my daughter,
So how is-
to your point, it's like my daughter will play with everyone, and the people that annoy me delight my daughter. Like, she has absolutely no problem with whatever it might be. Maybe it's just a challenging person in my family. She thinks they're a hoot, because I would argue that she's seeing them more clearly. We struggle with just seeing projections of the past. And I'm not saying we need to completely erase the past, but when I see my daughter interacting with somebody, it's fresh, you know what I mean? It's really what's happening right now. And I struggle with clearing out all the cobwebs of all the times you've done this or done that or done this, and it's hard to see reality clearly. So that, I think, is the gift of children,
Well, thank you so much. Job well done.
Oh,
this
thank you.
is going to be a movie that I think is going to be a classic again for both adults and children for years to come. So really, job well done. This
I
is
appreciate
a lot of
it.
fun, and I can't wait to tell more people to go and watch it.
Well, I hope you're right. I appreciate you helping us get the word out.
And before we move on, I want to show you one more feature the Kingdom Story Company put together that really shares and explains the heart of the movie. You're going to hear from some of the other actors as well.
Might be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight and Mary lights a stogie and hightails it with the baby.
Best Christmas pageant ever is warm and funny and one of my favorite stories I've ever come across.
the whole movie is inspiring, like a bigger picture story about welcoming the other.
I think this movie is for people like me who grew up loving Christmas and loving the story of Christmas, and then grown-ups like me who can sometimes lose touch with that.
I want to be Mary, and Ralph wants to be Joe.
And the angel of the Lord?
Me!
This book right here is very special to a lot of people, and I believe it's perfect and beautiful. And that means I have a big responsibility to get this movie right.
We've seen, obviously, a lot of romance about Christmas. And we've seen a ton of comedy Christmas and Santa Christmas. But I haven't really seen a movie that could reach all the demographics, like a nativity Christmas story.
They tried to kill me again.
That's show business, pal.
I think this movie is for anybody that loves Christmas, but I think it's even more so for people that have a very nostalgic feeling about Christmas.
It's another story where the church can come together and love people that they may not see as someone that looks like them or sounds like them, but it's a story about the Christmas story being for every person, no matter what they look like, how they act, who they are.
What do you all suggest? That I kick the Herdmans out of the Christmas pageant and keep them out of the church?
Yes.
There is way more to somebody that meets the eye.
Who doesn't love a Christmas film that just makes everybody laugh and come together as a family and celebrate the true meaning of Christmas behind it?
I think that the best Christmas pageant ever is really about community and people being quick to judge other people because of things that you really shouldn't judge people on.
Hello, Imogene. You don't look like any Mary I've seen before.
Hidden in this story of humor is this extremely profound message that you get closer to Christmas when you are seeing it through the eyes of the disadvantaged and through the setting of poverty.
If you give a person love and attention and respect, then they seem to blossom more than others that are ignored. And when the Herdmans blossom, it's amazing.
In my fantasy, some family would see this movie in the theater and they would laugh and they would have so much fun. Then all the emotion would really stick around.
I think Best Christmas Pageant Ever can fit into so many audiences right now who are thinking, I want real, I want nostalgic, I want timeless. I want something that I want to watch multiple times and that I can share with my kids and that reminds me of things that I've always loved.
Jesus was born for the Herdmans as much as he was for us. We'd be missing the point of all of it if I turned them away.
A story like this can open your heart. It's one of the powerful things about the book, and I hope it's one of the powerful things about the movie. It's just a reminder that everybody's invited to the party.
Once again, the film comes out November 8th, and you can go to bestchristmaspageantever.movie for more info. Okay, now to another exciting announcement. The Grammy Award-winning duo for King and Country have announced a new holiday album coming out November 22nd. It's called A Drummer Boy Christmas Live. The album will have 15 tracks, and of course, their most popular Christmas song, Little Drummer Boy, will be included.
When we come.
Okay, and here's the best part. Not only are they putting out a new Christmas album and playing a few select shows this Christmas season, they have also announced a Fathom theatrical concert event as well. Yes, A Drummer Boy Christmas, which will be in theaters for the first time ever, December 5th through the 9th.
It's remarkable to think that a baby boy born in a stable, no prestige or privilege, no social media or social status, political campaigns or private airplanes, and yet he flipped the world on his head. He turned BC into AD, He's the most famous name around the globe, inspired the most read book ever written. He reconnected us to heaven, and in turn brought heaven down to earth. And now he offers us redemption, a fresh start, freedom, so that we can hold our heads high and march through this life knowing that we're never alone. That every woman and man, every girl and boy, to all of us who feel like we have nothing left to bring, nothing to give, that we can know that God is smiling at us, that He's loving us, that you are enough. So light up that Christmas tree, stand under the mistletoe, surround yourself with the ones that you love the most, and together let us celebrate the greatest news that this world has ever known.
I'll be talking with For King and Country soon to hear more, but I wanted to go ahead and give you a heads up about what's being planned, as we all know how busy the holidays can be. In the meantime, just go to forkingandcountry.com for more info. All right, speaking of music, I also want to tell you about something else happening in Waco, Texas. Over the summer, I got a preview of a truly unique telling of the gospel. It's called He Rules the World. It's a family-friendly contemporary live concert event that blends song, narration, and imagery to tell the nativity story in its entirety.
He Rules the World. Brought to you by executive producer and narrator Kevin Sorbo.
And he's betrothed to Mary, a young girl in Nazareth, the very girl God had chosen to be the mother of his son.
He Rules the World is a high-energy, rock and roll production of the greatest story ever told. And it's all inspired by the Christmas music you love.
On this silent night, this whole
Meet Mary and Joseph as they wrestle with God's calling. And featuring Broadway performer David Gashin.
I found a love that consumes me. Oh, Mary, what have you done?
This year, experience the true meaning of Christmas in this heartwarming and hope-giving production that the whole family will enjoy. He Rules the World.
Now, I will be bringing you much more on this unique concert in the next few weeks, but I wanted to go ahead and let you know about the dates on this one. He Rules the World will be showing at the Waco Hippodrome December 11th through December 14th. Meanwhile, you can go to herulestheworld.com for more info. Okay, now let's talk about some Christmas movies you can watch at home. Up TV has a great lineup they are rolling out. Their first big one airs November 24th, and it's called The Festival of Trees.
Portfolio, check. Design sketch, double check. Hey, what are we standing here in the cold for?
So, the Festival of Trees.
You ready for some fun? Are you ready for some fun?
Such a wonderful event, isn't it?
It is. Our design concept is a very vintage Christmas. With corporate sponsorship, we are going to win this year.
Jacqueline, right? Nice to see you.
This lady right here is the one to beat.
I find the essence of the holidays invokes such creativity.
So your name's printed on paper, and that gives you authority.
It's laminated.
There's some seats in the back next to the restrooms.
Oh, I'm afraid your submission was rejected by the committee.
Shoot!
Everything is a mess. Oh, well, that sounds like my dating life.
What do we do now?
You actually shop for your own materials? How adorable.
Could you maybe help me find an ornament?
I'm sure there's something in there that would look great on the tree of a construction worker.
Somebody's having a bad day.
A whole new design in 24 hours.
We just need one idea to explode into life. Hospital charity. Is there anything you can do with that?
There's nothing less fashionable than a hospital.
Are you an artist?
Sort of.
I paint and draw all the time.
Well, look what we have here. Professional designer coming to our little lot.
He was yummy.
When did you do all this? I didn't sleep.
It's an ornament for a Christmas tree, and it's based on me.
It's reflective of all the things they love most in this world. Every child will know that they had an ornament specifically made for them. Kids aren't really my thing. I don't think they like me.
Take that!
It'll be fun.
You are a piece of work, you know that, right?
From the looks of her, I wouldn't trust that girl with my breakfast order.
I'm a fixer-upper. That's why Jackie loves me.
I think we've bitten off a little more than we can chew here.
I just need to know one thing. Are you all in? Well, that is literally what you pay me for. I know, I wanted to ask that. It seemed fun.
These average people, they don't know about style. They don't know what looks good or what doesn't.
Is everything okay?
I keep forgetting I'm gonna be stuck here for Christmas.
Those kids, they're not looking for elegance. You showed them their stories matter.
And you have a tree that would knock the stockings off of Santa himself.
A true artist learns from others. But a Christmas tree, it's not about decorations. It's about the people who put them there.
And another network known for their Christmas movies is Great American Family. Not only do they have a huge lineup too, but they want to help you step inside some of your favorite Christmas movies and make some lifelong memories. This year, for the first time ever, they are hosting their own holiday event in New York City. It's called the Great American Family Christmas Festival. It's a chance to meet some of your favorite stars and embrace the holidays like never before. Take a look.
New York this Christmas season, the first annual Great American Family Christmas Festival. Great American Family is teaming up with UBS Arena, the New York Islanders, and Candy Rock Entertainment to create a one-of-a-kind experience featuring all the talent you love in a celebration like no other. With skating, Santa's workshop, screenings, meet and greets, and Santa himself. There's no place like New York at Christmas. Create memories that will last a lifetime. VIP and general admission tickets on sale now. For more information, visit GreatAmericanFamilyChristmasFestival.com.
I hope you enjoyed tonight's show and are starting to get into the holiday spirit. I absolutely love this time of year. I'm Carly Boyette, and I look forward to seeing you next week right here on your Christian Television Network. Hey there, Carly Boyette here from Good News on Entertainment. If you're like me and love to hear when new faith-based shows, movies, concerts, books, and more are releasing, you are in the right place watching Good News on Entertainment. But I have more exciting news. CTN now has their own podcasting network. It's called the Amplify Podcasting Network. The goal is to amplify voices for the kingdom of God. Our lineup of shows offer compelling conversations that will inspire your journey, challenge your faith, and connect you to believers around the world. On the Good News on Entertainment podcast, you're going to hear some of my favorite conversations with different Christians in the entertainment industry. And I have no doubt they will encourage and inspire you on your faith journey. I believe God is using media like never before, and I invite you to watch and now listen to Good News on Entertainment. You can listen wherever you like to go for podcasts like Apple or Spotify. And to find out when the show airs on TV in your city, just go to ctnonline.com. And don't forget to download the CTN app as well so you can have access to CTN anywhere at any time.